Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here with another trade example for you for the week ending March 19th, 2010. This is what a great trade this was. I got to show you this one. This was a trade that was actually taken by a woman in our Live Connect Coaches Corner service that you should check this out because there's so much information you can get out of these things that can make such a big difference for you. I mean, you have to get to a point where you can see these things on your own and make it your own and be independent this way. But what she did is she saw that this thing was going up, and as it came down, this is the US Swissy, it came down and it hit this line. You see this 105.06? This high right here is exactly 105.06. This low right here is exactly 105.06. Same number. And look what it did. See this candle? It's a spinning top. She saw that and thought, this looks pretty interesting. Now, not only did she see this, I want to tell you something. There's a very good little piece of advice for you. This is the US Swiss. Wouldn't it be good to know what the US dollar index is doing? The US dollar index is right here, and here's what it looked like today. It came down to this level right here, 79.50, which was an old high from back here. In fact, let me put a line across there. Start paying attention to this stuff. I'm telling you something, it's going to pay big dividends for you. Look at, you see how back in here it had hit this, and then it broke through it, became support. It hit it again, made a little spinning top. Now look, don't just stay on your daily charts. Look at your weeklies all the time. They're very important. I want to show you why price stopped going up here the other day. See how it hit this old support level on the weekly chart? By the way, I tend to ignore these wicks when I draw these lines, and I like to use the bodies. Look what happened. This was support. It broke it. It became resistance. Price went down. It came back up. Look at this. Resistance again. And now look what it's carving out. Another bullish candle to have a look at these highs here again. But the daily chart was the clue here today. When it started to go up like this, she thought, the US dollar is looking pretty bullish here. So on that US Swissy, she saw this spinning top yesterday. Today, she goes down to her 1 hour chart. And what does she do? She bought this thing. And she bought it on a dip. She buys the dips in an uptrend. And by the way, she bought it right down here. Can you imagine with this big red candle screaming straight down there? She bought it down here. I tell you what, folks, that takes some experience and it's a very this is going to sound kind of funny, but it's an easy trade actually, because you're buying this incredible sudden weakness like this. I mean, that is a large drop, isn't it? Darn near 100 pips. And you're buying it right down into some support. She bought a nice area of support down here with about a 40 pip risk in this thing. 40 pip risk. And what's the profit potential? It's huge, because if this is going to be correct, we could go up and get another retest of the highs up here. You're looking at 300 or 400 pips. I'm going to show you something here too, for those that know a little bit about Fibonacci. From this low up to this high, you'll see that we had a Fibonacci retracement of 38%. Interesting, isn't it? From this low up to the same high, guess what? We had a Fibonacci retracement of around 50%. Same place. This is this is a bit advanced stuff here now, but I'm telling you something. When you recognize this stuff, I mean, it's one thing to recognize it, then you have to know how to trade it. Okay, she's become very good at trading this kind of this kind of stuff. She's made it her own. A great example here. And now she's in a position where she's actually been able to take a bit of profit out of it as it moved, as this moved up for her today. I want to show you something back to the daily chart. I'm flipping around here a little bit, but stay with me. When it came back up here on the daily chart, guess where it stopped? Why did it stop right here? Because see these lows in here? In fact, let me go back to this area right in here. Look, it was resistance. It broke it. It became support. And it came crashing through it, and when it goes back up to retest it, it'll often become resistance. And this is quite natural for it to bounce off like this. Okay. Now remember, on the US dollar index, we had a very nice strong bullish day today. So it's very possible that we get this thing going back up. And even if it doesn't, she's already taken money out of the position already. Took a profit on part of it up in this area. What we call funding the position. Chris Laurie uses that term, funding the position. And now she has a free look at it going higher. Very nice position to be in. And could turn out to be one heck of a trade. But that's how a trade sets up and evolves like that, by all these observations and paying attention to what's going on, keeping very sharply focused on what you're doing. not taking out your garbage or doing your ironing or whatever, right? You got to pay attention to what's going on here. So anyway, I hope that little example helps you. This trade set up today, which was the 18th, and she's still in it here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll go up for her. And if not, you get stopped out. And although I'm not exactly sure where the stop is on this at this point, it might, she might still be giving it some room here. But in any event, the trade has been funded. She's taken profit out of it already, and waiting now to see if we can really get a move out of it. Okay, there you go. That's a little trade example for you for the week ending March the 19th of 2010. Have a great weekend. I'll be back at the end of next week.